Gentlemen, like a well-oiled machine, we run. Just like we rehearsed it. These two people are awesome, by the way. I mean, I know I would come out here and say that anyway, because it's part of the lie of the job. I'd come out and say they're great, even if they weren't great, but they're actually great.
Yeah, they are.
Like
You're right. We're contractually obligated to say that, but...
Yeah, no, contractually I gotta say they're great, but in this
they're actually
case,
pretty great.
Yeah, they're actually great. So I'm saying this, you know, contracts be damned, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. They're great. Ladies and gentlemen, Grey Griffin and Matthew Lillard! That was so dramatic. I'm gonna put. I feel like I should reset that up because I feel
super
like
fun.
It was great. I think Fred's annoyed, but other than that, everybody's good. There we go.
I tried to kick it gently.
Oh, you did. It still maintained its original form.
Daphne and Velma are here. Hi, guys.
Exciting.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we turn the stage over to you two. Enjoy yourself.
You guys should stay. Please stay. It's always better with you guys here. I have nothing else to say. I've been here for 3 days. I have nothing else to tell you.
We're so terrified. We were like, we're doing another one?
Don't leave!
Are there any new people here?
In the name of God, don't leave! I have never felt so abandoned.
It's like when you say goodbye to somebody and then you parked right next to them, so you are like, oh, I guess we're walking back to our cars together. What will we talk about now? Yeah.
Okay, I honestly have nothing else to say other than I did see the boys, and they're so beautiful! Oh my gosh!
I didn't see them, and
they're
they were hiding
here
from me because they know that we're not meant to be together forever.
Hi.
Dean's still hiding from Freddie, so he probably thinks we're together today.
I have no idea what that meant.
Dean and I had a special connection in our episode, Matt.
Okay, as you wish. If you haven't seen Grey before, she's crazy, and we're gonna do the best we can to manage this moment.
Well, we do have a lot of questions, though, so we
we do. Okay.
Start on the left-hand side.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is for Matt. So a lot of your characters had some pretty crazy hairstyles, and I was just wondering what's your favorite and least favorite that you've had?
My characters, my hairstyles? You start really with the hardest question possible, right? You just go right to the deep.
She's got great hair.
You do have great hair. She's all that is not the answer. No, from the front row. I was in a movie called Hackers, Hack the Planet, thank you very much. And then I had long hair at the time, and then I braided it. That was my choice, and I want you to know I have a huge forehead, and I've regretted it every single day of my entire life. It's not funny. Look at my head. It's big, and lots of scalp area here. I still have my hair. I turned 50 in January. Thank you. Totally still hot. I will tell you, there's nothing worse than getting, starting your career at like 22 and then being 50 and seeing the pictures of you at 22. I was so cute. I literally go to my kids all the time. I'm like, look how hot Dad was. Hold on a sec.
That's not creepy at all.
Look how hot Dad was. This is me in my underwear.
Like a bear.
They're not impressed.
I have a giant forehead too, and my grandma for my whole life was like, "Mijita, have some bangs. You need some bangs. You have a big forehead." You know, old people just tell you everything that you should listen to them because they have nothing to lose. They're all telling the truth. And then I finally listened.
Great bangs.
I feel like, well, now I have a lot of pictures on the internet with my giant 5-head.
Go to this side. Yes, hi.
Hi. So, voicing cartoon characters, you get to record lots of crazy things anyways.
Grey does. Grey records. I mean, Grey, just so everyone knows, There are 8 people in this industry that do every single movie, television show, commercial, and Gray is one of them. Gray is God's honest truth, a legend in our industry.
Shut up, you twerp! Get out of here, make me a milkshake.
So Gray does lots of voices. I do one voice.
Yeah, but so Scooby-Doo has done lots of crossovers, not just with Supernatural. Like last week, I actually watched the Teen Titans Go one with my kids. So
I was Mrs. Claus in that one. I played Mrs. Claus. She was evil, but anyway, go ahead.
So
Go ahead with your question.
For Matt.
No, it's about you. You're the legend.
I don't think so.
Go ahead.
okay, so I just was wondering, when you get to do those crossovers, is it fun to do lines and things that you wouldn't get to do in a normal Scooby episode? And is that any different for the recording process?
I on the new ones, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, they're spending all their money on these celebrities. So I've been playing every villain in the thing. Like I know I don't normally get to play the villain, but every female villain and some male villains, they're like, "Great, guess what you're playing?" And I'm like, "Daphne, I'm the villain." You guys need a bigger budget. But yeah, so it's fun to be the villain, and I don't often get to play that in Scooby. I play a lot of villains in other things, but it's fun to play the
old lady who doesn't want to sell her store or whatever, you know?
I don't know. What about for you, Matt? What lines do you like?
So I will say this, that Supernatural, this crossover, is the only thing that sort of broke the rules of Scooby. That's how popular the show is, because they're like, oh, screw 70 years or 50 years. 50 years of tradition and storytelling. Supernatural, yeah, people can really get hurt, that's fine. You guys are super popular and the boys are cute? Yeah, okay, go ahead, whatever you want. We don't care. And we are very thankful that they did, because we wouldn't be here. We would not be here. I don't think that's a cheering moment. I have been an actor for 15 years and I haven't been in one goddamn episode of the show. That is not cool.
I was excited about the cons. I kept telling Matt, I was like, oh my god, we can do more cons, because I do cons, regular ones, like comic book ones, every weekend, just as other characters. And then I was like so excited to start doing Supernatural cons. As soon as we got this part, I was like, there's gonna be cons. Yeah. Anyway.
And here we are, 3 days of talking to you. Don't you regret this moment? How sad are you?
No.
We are the only thing standing between you and the boys.
Now there's security.
I know you hate us deep down inside. You're all screaming at me at the same time. I heard that. Thank you. We were just doing a photo shoot, and if you weren't there, it was awesome. But we just got invited back.
Are you sure it's both of us, or is it just you, Matt?
We both got invited.
Okay, good. Yay, that's awesome. Yay. It worked. I kept telling everybody who came to my table, I was like, and write to them on Twitter and tell them that you want me to come back, because I really need money to put my kids through private school in Los Angeles.
So thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Yay.
Yes.
Hi, my question is for Matthew.
Yes.
We think we told you yesterday one of our favorite movies is Scream.
Yay.
And that's where we fell in love with you to begin with. But there's one scene out of that movie that we tend to rewind like 3, 4, 5 times and play it over and over and over again. And it's also a quote that we use quite often, but it's in the video store when Randy asks you if Sid would go out with him. There's a line that you delivered. I'm wondering if you would deliver that line to us.
So, when you're in the movie, you watch it when it comes out, and then you never watch it again. No, that's not true. I took my wife to the 20-year anniversary of the movie, and she had never seen it. Isn't that crazy? Like, why don't you love me? What was the line? I honestly don't remember the line.
I don't know if I can do it.
Okay. Awesome. Does anyone know the line she's talking about?
No.
Like that? He's like,
don't at all.
Something like that, right?
No, I don't at all. No.
This is going bad. My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me. This is my favorite part where people just started screaming lines at me. I don't know. This is such. No. I don't know. I have flop sweat right now. I'll tell you a funny thing about that story. I was in love with Nev Campbell at that time. We dated for 3 years. She broke my heart. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
I've talked about it with him at length.
But in that moment, I think Jamie liked her as well. I won the battle. But yeah. She's awesome. She killed me. But she's awesome. Next question.
Good morning, lovelies. How are you?
Supersonic.
I just want to say that Scooby Natural is like one of my top favorite Supernatural episodes because I carry such a love for Scooby-Doo in general, and obviously I love Supernatural, so putting the two together was like putting together peanut butter and chocolate. Like it just fit. It was a perfect marriage. So, and leading into that, my question is, because you're in the episode and now you're here, you've been hanging out with us for a few days now, how has it been hanging out with the Supernatural fandom, and how does it differ or is the same compared to like other fandoms that you interact with or other cons that you've been to?
I am enjoying the fact that I don't mind cosplay at all. I love it. I mean, some people put amazing work into it, but some people have been wearing the same suit, like a fur suit for like a lot of cons and not taking it to the dry cleaner. And then they want to take a picture with me. And they want to put their arm around, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to say it. Anyway, so I like that you guys are just like, I feel like I could hang out with all you guys. I can see your faces.
Your answer's about somebody in a fur costume?
Yes! There's a lot of fur costumes at the regular cons, and this is like a nice fandom where it's like, oh, I can see your face, and we're just like buddies already, yeah. There's a lot of guys that come up to my table at the regular con with just like a mask, and they're just like, and you're kind of afraid. I'm a little afraid. Haven't been afraid of one person here this weekend.
Challenge accepted.
This is gonna go badly because I think people in the costumes are gonna be mad at me now, but that's all right. I'm sorry. Some of them are perfectly laundered, and some of them are not.
Sorry. I want you to know that you guys have created and curated a special thing I've never seen anything like it before. That you guys are throwing around this term family a lot, and you can sense it. I mean, I think that you guys a lot of you come back, a lot of you talk about how you made your friend at another con, or you connected online through the love of something that's super specific. There's nothing like this out there, as far as I've ever seen, and look, I've been to a lot of cons, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, the idea, yeah, it's great. Yeah, the idea that it's small and intimate, and that, it's so funny that normally a convention is about grabbing an autograph or buying swag or sort of like getting out and like, I don't know, it's about transacting. It's about, I need to get on, I don't know, you're collecting, and this is like, people are walking around day after day, and it's like, I don't know, I've never seen anything like it. It's like you guys are here for this room more than you're here to like grab an autograph. You're here to see the same people you've seen time and time again because you're friends. Yep. It's a very different thing, and you guys should, I mean, I'm sad for you, it's the 15th season. I'm sad that this is the last season. I don't know what happens afterwards.
Cons will still go
Sad
on.
that I had a really crappy answer compared to yours.
No, I think the first suit was awesome.
People keep saying welcome to the family, and it just means so much to me. I just like it really, yeah.
It's amazing. If I don't get a Christmas card from every single one of you, it doesn't count.
What's your address?
My address, 19, I'm not giving you my address.
when the cast isn't doing these, the girls, the sheriffs were backstage FaceTiming with a fan from Ireland, and she was talking about how they got her through her depression, and I was getting teary-eyed just sipping my coffee off screen, just like, this is amazing, they're changing lives. It was just because they couldn't come to the con.
They have a pajama party. Who went to the pajama party? I am crashing that. I am officially gender neutral. There I am. I've got pajamas. All right, yes.
My question is for you, Matthew. I wasn't here yesterday, and I wanted to know what it was like working with Carol Burnett, because I love.
Oh, that's a great question. So I like, look, in our lives, right, it's hard. We talked the first day and the second day about ebbs and flows in the career. And working with Carol Burnett, one of the things I love is that she will tell stories. So so many times people on social media or Twitter or on Instagram are bragging about their lives. This is my life. Look how good my life is. Everything's great.
I'm right here, Matthew. I'm sorry.
No. But you have these moments, like you're constantly trying to maintain this allure of perfection. And we all know that's garbage, right? That doesn't happen. And part of the ways that I think that we sort of humanize our journey as actors is to talk about how hard it is out loud. To talk about when you're not working. You know, my wife and I don't think I told this story here, but my wife and I hadn't worked in a couple of years. Did I tell you that story? I hadn't worked in a year. And I kept saying to myself, I'll get a pilot, I'll get a job. I wasn't getting jobs. And I had come off of a long journey of like making money and being famous, and I had a big house and fancy cars. And I hadn't worked in a year. And I kept asking for work. I wanted work, I wanted to feed my kids, and I wasn't getting a job. And it was just after Scooby-Doo. And I had a moment where I realized that everything in my life I was lying about. Basically what happened is I got an offer to do Dancing with the Stars, right? And Dancing with the Stars, I like dancing. That's a time step, I can do it. So I had an opportunity to do Dancing with the Stars. And Dancing with the Stars, if you go on, you get paid a lot of money. And my manager and my agent were saying, you should do Dancing with the Stars. And my father-in-law, God bless his heart, said to me, you know, if you sold pharmaceuticals, you'd make a lot of money. So basically everyone in my life was saying, hey, stop acting. Go be a celebrity. Stop acting. Go sell pharmaceuticals. Like, go get a salesman job. And I've been in 30 movies. I'm chasing my dream. I live my life trying to fulfill 3 goals. I want to win an Academy Award. I want to win a Tony. I want to win an Emmy. So that's like a weird goal that really at the end of the day means nothing, but it's the allure to me of what success looks like. So basically, I was getting this offer, getting pressure to take Dancing with the Stars. And I realized if I took that, I would never win any of the things I was chasing. So I said to my wife, and God bless, I've been married for 20 years, which in Hollywood is like 75.
I'm really close friends with his wife. I like her more than I like him.
That's obvious. Sorry, this is the long answer to a very great question. Sorry. But basically what happened is I said to my wife, I was like, we are living a lie. We are trying to be more than what we are. We're driving fast cars and we have this big fancy house because I think I'm supposed to be famous and rich and successful. And it's total bullshit. So we sold our house, and we sold our cars, and I fired my agent, my manager, and my lawyer in 3 consecutive phone calls, and we reset our life completely. And in that reset, I went out and told everyone, we're resetting our lives because we have no money. We're resetting our lives because I think I thought I was bigger than what I am. And the reality is I'm a blue-collar actor trying to survive. And sort of in the resetting of that, I kept telling the story of it's really hard to be an artist. It's really hard to spend an entire life chasing a dream. And I got off track. So what I love about Carol Burnett, to bring it back, is that she had the ability to sit in a circle at lunch while you were working and tell all these stories about the passing of her daughter because of drugs, of how beautiful her friendships was on the Carol Burnett show, and how she, as an older woman, hasn't worked in years, and how she felt so alive being on that set. So, anyways, that was a long answer. Just to say,
Also she did Scooby with us too.
Oh, yes, she did.
She did an episode of Scooby with us, and I have a, can I tell my Carol Burnett? I think it's really short. When I was little, my grandma put me in all these beauty pageants because, I don't know, it was a Mexican grandma thing. She was like, she wanted to curl my hair and she wanted to put earrings on me, and I was 6 months old. Anyway, but when I was like 5, I was in a beauty pageant, and they asked me who my biggest inspiration, or the woman who's inspired me more than anything else. And of course, my grandma set aside her whole life to raise me, and she's sitting there in the audience ready for her, prize, and I was like, Carol Burnett. So my grandma, I didn't win, obviously. And so we were driving back from the pageant, and I'm quiet, and my grandma's quiet and angry, driving, and I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, nothing, just nothing. And then she's like, I can't believe after everything I do for you, and then you say that silly woman who scratches her butt on the television is the lady you like. I can't believe it. I'm just so upset. So anyway, but I would watch her every night, and she would, how she scratched her butt, in the little cartoon, she would scratch her butt. Anyway, so Carol Burnett beat out my grandmother in the beauty pageant.
Amazing story. Isn't she amazing? I'm with her all the time. But thank you for your question about Carol Burnett. I'm sorry for my answer, it was long.
And then I bought Matt's house because I'm super famous and successful. Got a great deal on his car, too.
So rude. I was crying. Yes.
Hello, thank you both for being here. Somebody else asked my question, so I'm going with my backup. Matthew, I mentioned this on Friday, but we were kind of running out of time. I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about Fat Kid Rules the World and what that meant to you.
God bless you. So I directed, so I was a kid in high, by itself.
And because you kicked it, but.
Okay. Look, in high school I was a kid that was sort of, my mom and dad were obese, I was obese, I was a kid that ate poorly, was left alone at 13 the entire time, and just grew into incredible size. So I eventually hit puberty, and puberty was great. I'm 6'4", and things changed. I was doing a book on tape. So I offered this book on tape called Fat Kid Rules the World. And in the opening sequence of the book, this teenager named Troy jumps, and he's a fat kid, jumps in front of a subway train in New York City on the page 10. And as I'm doing the book on tape, they kept quitting because I was crying, and they were like, "You have to stop crying." I'm like, "I can't help it." And so I was incredibly moved by this book, and so I walked out of the session, and I called my manager, and I've never done it before, and I still haven't done it since. And I called my manager, who was one of my best friends at the time, and this is before I fired her. And I said, we have to option this book, because I want to make this into a movie. Long story,
I just read Dancing with the Stars, and it's amazing. I've got to do it.
I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So I optioned the book, and I had friends of mine write it, and it took 10 years, and eventually I said to the writer, K.L. Going, I was like, I've tried so hard to make this movie, but it's weird. Hollywood doesn't want to make a movie about an obese teenager. They just don't. And I was like, I can't do it for less than $15 million. I have to have $10 million. We cannot do it for less than $3 million. Long story short, I gave the rights back, and about a year later, I saw these kids on the Vans Warped Tour. So I was on the Vans Warped Tour, and I was like, whoa, we should be making movies for these kids. Oh God, I'm telling the stupidest story, it's way too long. Anyways.
At least my dumb stories are short.
And they're relatively funny. Anyways, we ended up, I don't even know why I'm telling you all this. It's 45 minutes, it's a long time to be talking. Okay, so anyway, so I optioned the book, we wrote the script, we went off and got it, and we made it for $675,000. We did it in 14 days in Seattle, Washington. I sat down with Mike McCready, who's the lead guitar player of Pearl Jam, who had read the book. I'm like, I want you to do the music. And I had like 100 reasons why I wanted to explain to him, it's gonna be great, and kids, and it's about this obese teenager that finds punk rock music. And I'm like, he's like, I'm in. I'm like, what? He's like, I believe in it, I believe in this movie, I believe in the kid, I'm in. And so we made the movie, we premiered at South by Southwest, and we won the whole damn thing. Yeah, and it's the single greatest sort of moment. It's a journey that took a long time to do. I'm really proud of it. And I was like, if I could never act again and spend the rest of my life directing, I would. But it's weird, when you make a movie, you have like 20 actors and only one director. And so I haven't directed anything since. So, yeah, okay, good. That was terrible. That was a terrible answer. That was a terrible answer. Yeah, oh God, that's so bad. Hi, I'll be much better answer giver now.
I actually have a question for both of you. Gray, my mom is sitting over here and she wanted to know, she loves you as Emily Elizabeth on Clifford the Big Red Dog. And she wants...
Clifford! You want to hear a Speckle story, Clifford? Yeah.
She wanted to know if you also voiced the poodle on Clifford?
That was Cree Summer. She played Cleo.
She's in the new season of Better Things on FX, if anybody watches that show. Yeah, Cree Summer, she was on A Different World and everything. Very good friend of mine. She did Cleo, yes. But I played the teacher on the show and
Emily got bullied by Jetta, and sometimes I cussed at Jetta when they weren't recording. I was like, Jetta, fuck off.
I was also Wubbsy on Wow Wow Wubbsy when you guys were little.
Wow, wow, everybody, welcome to Russellburg.
Did anybody watch that show? Anyway, oh, yellow guy.
Cuss is her.
Eat my balls. Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Every time you do a voice, you have to say something foul. No, I'm kidding. I would never do that. It's supernatural.
Matthew, I wondered what it was like working on the set of 13 Ghosts and if you ever got pranked on the set of 13 Ghosts.
Oh, you're welcome. I never got pranked. The thing about 13 Ghosts, do you guys ever see that movie?
Your wife didn't.
That movie is, everyone is in latex. Like everyone's with applications, so there's no CG effects. I mean, it's sweetened, but most of those actors have latex on. The house is actually made of glass. There's like 48 panels of glass, each weighing a ton. And what happens is you take like a 2,000 kilowatt light and throw light through glass. It's not great. So a bunch of latex, a bunch of glass, and a bunch of light was really a crazy experience. But I'll never forget, a funny story about that, F. Murray Abraham was one of the great actors in America, was in the junkyard. It was the middle of winter in the junkyard in 13 Ghosts. And he's on top of this huge stack of cars. And on top, they've got on the crane, they've got a huge wind machine and these lights and lightning effects everywhere. And he's giving this speech, and he does it again, and the director's like, cut. He's like, I can't, you gotta give me more. He's like, this movie isn't about the goddamn special effects. And I was on the ground, I'm like, I actually think it is. I don't think that's right, sir.
F. Murray Abraham, the actor, I used to do jokes on Twitter. I still do, but I used to do them under a fake name. And one of my first big tweets was I put F. Murray Abraham, and then I put someone who hates Murray Abraham. It was like a quote, like F. Murray Abraham, quote, so then it said someone who hates Murray Abraham. Okay, well, it was one of my first big tweets. People liked it.
7 people.
That was big for 19.
Yeah, it's big. Yes, hi.
Hello, I'm Megan.
Hi, Megan.
I was lucky enough to ask Gray a question the other day, so I wanted to ask you, Matthew.
Sure.
First of all, I would like to say that my friend Monica and I we love Scream. It's like one of our best favorite movies ever. And I have a two-part question, first of all. So you made a cameo in Scream 2, right?
I walked through the backs of one of the scenes.
Okay,
so it wasn't really a cameo.
Okay, well, yeah, I know you were there because I saw it online. But I was wondering if you were originally supposed to be in the film, if the storyline changed at all.
Yeah, no, I was killed in the second one, but a little known fact is that they were going to do 3, and I was offered the lead bad guy in 3. So what the idea was that the TV had fallen on my head, and then I had survived that moment and was in jail and leading kids in high school to go after Sydney. And 2 months before that movie went into production, Columbine High School happened. And so they changed the entire script. So it was not in 3.
And then the second part is, just for my 90s kid heart, could you say "Live Her Alone"?
Live her alone! No,
Yeah.
it's like, he's like, live her alone, man.
Live her alone.
Liver alone. You say it.
Live her alone, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm letting everyone down on the quote thing. You hit me with the phone, you fucking dick! Skeet Ulrich's beautiful man. I mean, he's not the boys, but he's a beautiful man. He hit me with the phone. He's a dick. Yes.
My sister threatened me, so I have to ask this question or I can't come home. But
your sister sounds mean.
She is the biggest horror movie buff ever.
I thought you were wow, we're getting real here at the panel.
If you could have any role in any horror movie ever made, what would it be and why?
Me or just in general? I don't know.
Exorcist, yeah. The mother, because I think just watching your child, I mean, just as a mother, you know, it's more. Well, I was always more concerned about the mother than I was about the kid in The Exorcist. I was like, that poor mom.
You know what? I'll tell you. I would love to be in whatever is the next sort of iconic series of films. To be honest, I would have loved to have been in Jaws. I would love to be in Star Wars. That would be incredible. That's not a horror movie. I mean, Jar Jar Binks.
I was in like the background. I did like all kinds of background voices in the latest Star Wars. Because I was in the original Clone Wars series. I was like Asajj Ventress. I was all the women in the original Clone Wars. Yeah, and
what do they sound like?
Padme sounded a little bit like Azula. Senator Palpatine, I need to talk to you.
And then I was Asajj Ventress.
I'm Sith.
Yeah, and I was Shakti and all kinds of things. And in Battlefront, I played Maz Kanata. You know, Han Solo, get out of my bar. You know, and so then J.J. Abrams put me in, like, I did a little background. It was so funny because his assistant was like, can J.J. text you directly because he wants to talk to you about some stuff? And I was like, yeah, he could text me directly. But then when he texted me, I was like, JJ, how the fuck did you get this number? And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, my assistant said it was okay. And I was like, I'm just kidding, you're JJ Abrams. I took a picture of him and Mark Hamill because we were all in the booth, you know, and I took a picture of Mark Hamill and JJ. I wasn't gonna put it on anything, but I was like, I just have to have this moment. Like, I just gotta, they don't know I took that
Mark
picture.
Hamill is, does everyone know that Mark Hamill does voiceovers all the time? So he'll come in and do an episode of Scooby-Doo, and that is one of the cool things about doing Scooby-Doo. You get so many people that want to do the show, so you have all these sort of incredible guest stars that come in, and it's really fun.
I worked with Mark forever because, you know, he played Azula's father. You know, my own mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course, but it still hurt. And then, and I'm also Catwoman Meow in all the video games, and, you know, Mark plays the Joker, so we have a lot to talk about.
I mean, she just can do anything. You're incredible. Yes, over here. I hope your sister is nice to you.
That whore.
Yeah. Hi. So Scream is my favorite movie, like, of all time, and it's one of the main reasons why I like horror thriller movies. So I was just wondering, what's your guys' favorite scary movie?
Scream. I never screw that up. That is the answer I have every time.
I am terrified. I mean, that's just, dumb to say I'm terrified of scary movies, but like I honestly don't see horror movies very often because I scream a lot at my job, and I can do it because I know how to control my diaphragm and stuff, and it doesn't hurt my voice. But if I involuntarily scream at stuff, it hurt like because everything goes up here and like my vocal cords tighten up, and any involuntary screaming when I don't know when it's coming, that just messes me up, and I can't work for like a week. Also, I scare everyone in the row with me, and then me watching a horror movie is just like, ah! Oh my god, I'm sorry. Ah! Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And like, I just keep apologizing to everybody, so. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've seen one.
This is a weird answer. You don't know because you scream too loud?
I just can't, I'm a boisterous person, and I just can't.
You're boisterous? It's so weird.
I scream at everything too. I'm very jumpy, Matthew.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine.
I have been a big Scooby-Doo fan ever since I was little. I grew up watching it, and what I wanted to know is what sort of memorable moments do you guys have while filming the movies or TV shows back in the day?
I'm gonna hug you. I don't care about what that is.
Because he has it.
Someone disinfect me! Disinfect me! I'll tell you a funny story. You want a funny story about Scooby-Doo? So we were shooting in Australia, and and they had, so in the movie, because the dog is always a computer-generated element, so there's nothing there. So in a big movie, they no longer use green screens. Green screens are used to create the world, but we had the world, so there's no green screen. There's nothing there. And so what they did for like big sort of group scenes, like there's a scene I'll never forget, you're walking through the airport and there's like hundreds of extras. But nobody knows where Scooby-Doo is. So they had a little person named Chris Kershanks, I'll never forget him, and they would put him in a Scooby-Doo outfit, a Scooby-Doo head, and a wagon. And he would walk next to you during all of the rehearsals so that people would know where Scooby was. Which was great, until like, all right, Matt, you guys have to run from the ghost. All right, you ready, Chris? Good. And I take off running at 6'4", and Chris was carrying a dog outfit, carrying a wagon. I would go around the corner, Scoob! Scoob!
His tail was wagon.
Can you turn off the lights? Just turn off the lights. Thank you! I'm so sorry. You deserve so much better. Look, I have no ass. I have no ass. I mean, just...
He has a lot of upper back and a lot of upper thigh and lower back, but no actual ass.
No ass. Like, what is this fabric? It's terrible.
Fabric of our lives.
God only gives so many gifts. That's my Scooby-Doo story. But thank you for asking. Do you have I have a funny story about when I got pulled over on the way back from Comic-Con once because I didn't realize they were trying to pull me over. I was speeding. I was like going like 5 miles over the speed limit, and then so I was like, oh shoot, I'm getting pulled over. So I started to pull over, and then they said, do not pull over. And I was like, I couldn't hear what the last part of what they said, which apparently was wait for the next exit and then get off. So I was like, oh, they're not pulling me over. Okay, so then I was a low speed chase for like miles. There were helicopters. Like I'm going. I know they said not to pull over, so it can't be me. They must just be like shutting down. It must be someone else. I don't know. And then pretty soon, when they were like pull over, next to me they were gonna do spike strips. So I was like, oh god, okay. So I do pull over. So I pulled over, and they literally like pulled me out of the car, put me on face down on the freeway. Oh yeah, I'm and then they were like, and then they had me cuffed, and they were like with like these lights on me and everything, and they're like questioning me, and they're like, where are you coming from? I was like, I'm coming from San Diego, and they were like, what are you doing in San Diego? And I was like, I'm Daphne on Scooby-Doo. And then the guy
goes, I've never heard of it. You know, and then his partner goes, oh, bullshit. And then, anyway, we figured out the misunderstanding. And
that band is coming. I know they're coming, and I just don't want to. Hey, stay away from us. Just stay away, you sons of bitches. No, I see you. I'm looking right at you.
Damn it.
Get back. Get back. You guys, quick. Don't let them know we're here. Ask another question before they find me. You'll never take me alive, coppers!
And we would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those freaking band members.
I hate the band. I hate the band. Oh shit, mother. God damn it. Rick, go away!
He's out in the audience like he normally is. You can't keep him on the stage. I tried to stay put like a nice person.
Somebody ask another question or is this going to be over and I'm never
the
coming
end of
back?
that story is the cop goes, can you do the voice? I'm handcuffed. He asked me to do the voice and I did it, but I was like sobbing. I was like, yeah, I told the captain because the captain ended up coming down and I was like, and then they made me do the voice while I was handcuffed. They got in a lot of trouble.
Good.
Nice.
I don't even know the story, but good.
Hey,
yeah.
I want you to know something. We feel blessed to be here. It has been an honor to spend 4 days. This is the longest convention in the history of man. I've never talked to so many people for so long. You have been gracious and kind and open-hearted, and I know we haven't been able to hug. The next con, I'm hugging twice as hard. So thank you. Thank you for having us. God bless.
Matthew Lillard and Greg Griffin, everybody. To the Scooby-Doo song.
I've got them all right here now.
I know, but that's...
Well, I never knew the bridge before. There's a bridge that we've been doing.
Oh, do the bridge.
You know we gotta make the real songs for Scooby-Doo. You ready for your
It says, where is it?
You know we gotta miss the
You saw the Scooby-Doo...
you ready for your act?
Act! Ah.
Don't hold back.
I thought you said ass.
No, I didn't say ass.
Were you thinking ass? Because it kind of translated.
Well, I'm always thinking ass, I guess.
Good point. That was awesome. That's really cool.
Very cool.
And they did a panel every freaking day. That's amazing.
Yeah, good. And another cool thing they're doing, I don't know if you knew that, this year, you knew this, every con is dedicated to one episode. So this is the Scooby-Doo episode.
That's so cool.
And so I think they're doing, well, the fans voted on what ones they wanted to see.
Right.
So they're doing Changing Channels, one of yours.
Oh, great.
With the Japanese game show host actor.
They are?
He's coming.
When?
Toronto.
Yeah, so they're going to have a...
And Dr.
Yeah,
Sexy.
and you're not going to be there, obviously, so I'll have to fill in as you, but...
God willing, every photo op anyone does will be far away from the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Far away from that. So that
Isn't
everybody...
that fun that he'll be here?
They can finally do their photo op of that guy, Jared, and Jared getting hit in the nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Every
I'd
single
buy
person
that.
who's in line.
That's right.
I would buy that.
I'm just saying, dare to dream. Well, that was all. I mean, how great are Gray and Matthew? They're such fun, such
sweet people.
Yeah. That's awesome. You never know. So right now, nothing official happens from us. We turn the stage over, and it's the auction time, Babo.
All right.
So you can sit front and center, and you can bid on giant vinyl photos of your friends.
Great. I mean, I've already got most of them.
Yeah, I know. But can you ever have, listen, the question is, can you ever have too many oversized vinyl photos of your friends? And I say the answer is no.
No.
You can never.
Well, I'm missing one in my collection. His initials are RS. Well, that's why I'm going to get it, because I have to fulfill my...
No one believes... First of all, in this fake scenario we've created, you just became a big meanie, and now no one believes you're actually going to follow through and get their arbiter spade. They know you're lying.
Well, now you know what to give me for Christmas. Also, I was trying to think of another actor whose initials are RS. I just wasn't that quick.
Rick Springfield? Rick Springfield.
That's the one I don't have.
Thank you, Stephen. So I am going to get you a ginal.
A ginal?
Oopsie daisy!
I don't have one of those either.
I was going to say giant vinyl. Billy, I was saying giant and vinyl, and it came out ginal.
What you said was ginal.
I said ginal.
Nope.
Yeah, I did say that, officer, but what I meant was giant vinyl.
Oh, we heard what we heard.
I said it came out ginal. I didn't
get in the car. Just get in the car.
Okay, so we're turning the stage over to people who are going to auction you stuff, and then we will be back. Do you guys think? Because that's our job. Bye.